Hello everyone, I'm Sergeant Zach Morris,
And I'm Detective John Sims, and this is my canine partner, Cam.
and we're with the Kentucky State Police. Being involved in the community outreach for the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force here in Kentucky, we often present at schools, at parent nights, at different events throughout the Commonwealth. And one of the most common questions that we get asked is, when should I allow my child access to the internet? Or, when do I know when to give my child a cell phone? Like at what age? Well, unfortunately, there's not an exact age. There's not an exact answer for that. All kids are different. Things to think about. Is your child responsible? Are they trustworthy? Are they disciplined? Have you explained to them dangers of the internet and what could happen to them on social media? These are things to think about and to consider when allowing your kid access to the internet. Why? Because when we allow our kids access to the internet, we don't just give our kids access to the world, we give the world access to our children. So this is a big, big responsibility. It's not just a matter of giving our kids a cell phone and saying, hey, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Have fun. No, this is just like driving a car. What do we do when our kids start driving? Do we just toss them the keys and say, hey, be careful, keep it under the speed limit? Absolutely not. We actually teach and train them how to drive the car and in a safe manner, right? So it's no different than with cell phones or with access to the internet. We need to teach them and train them and explain to them, have those hard conversations with them. So parents, some of the things to consider when you decide to give your child a cell phone or access to the internet. Screen time limits. Screen time limits have been very successful for me and my family. Putting restrictions on the amount of actual face time that they have on the device, 2-3 hours a day, is that too much or too little? Oh, that's up for you to decide. But screen time limits are very effective in keeping the kids safe and contained to maybe one specific game or app or where they're going online. We have to set boundaries. Where can they go online? Are there certain things that you could set up, protective security measures in place, either on the device or within the app itself, such as location services and parental controls? So parental controls are very important. Detective Sims is going to talk about potential monitoring software, but parental controls are crucial in progressing steps forward to protecting your kids online and through the social media applications.
And one of the ways we can do that is through monitoring software. This is a question we get asked a lot by parents out in the community. And we would say, here's the thing, there's no right, wrong, or indifferent, perfect monitoring software. But one thing I want you to understand is this: don't let the monitoring software, whatever it may be a catch-all. Not that, hey, I can put this on our kid's device and just walk away, because here's the reality of it. We have kids in elementary school now that are learning coding, and they may learn how to bypass those applications that you put on the device to monitor that device. So you still need to be engaged with your child. You still need to be setting those screen time limits. You still need to be looking at their device when they download or ask permission to download certain applications. Utilize device parental controls. Prime example, iPhone. You take an iPhone, you can set it up to where it prompts a passcode before you download an application. Passcode that you could set up and only know. So what does that mean? That means when your child decides to try download an application on their smartphone, they have to come to you. And then you can make the decision whether or not they can have that application or do the right thing. Like, look, I need to do my research on this before we download this onto your device. And piggyback on something that Sergeant Moore said earlier, talking about, when should my child have a smartphone? I would go a step further and say your child can have a smartphone when you're ready to learn on how that phone works. This is not something you just put in the kid's device. Like Sergeant Moore said, you wouldn't give your kids keys to the car and go out and just start driving. You teach them how to properly drive and to drive safe and to protect themselves. There's no difference with this phone. So you need to be engaged in every step of the way while they have this device.
Don't be afraid to ask for your child's phone or their tablet or iPad, whatever electronic device it may be. Don't be afraid to go through and look at the games that they're playing, the social media apps. If you don't have parental controls on it, what they have on their phone, and actually go into them, look at conversations. This is why it's very, very important for parents and caregivers to understand how the application works so that they know if it does in fact have messaging or chatting capabilities. Because once you go into those, you want to be able to look at who is my child talking to? How are they talking? What are the conversations like? Do they know this person? Is this somebody they've asked permission to talk to? These are considerations to think about when giving your kid access to the internet or to an electronic device.